Hi everyone. I have to answer many constant questions on the chapter of electricity. And it seems like for most schools right now, for Sec 2s, the questions on electricity don't really focus too much on the calculations based on direct current and circuitry. So things like series and parallel connections, schools actually require you to know how they work, how the currents work, but the hardcore calculations based on Ohm's law is almost restricted to mainly the IP schools, all right? So right now, one of the very common written questions that tend to be asked in section B of your paper 2 actually tends to be things like, oh, they show you a household circuitry based on live wire, neutral wire, earth wire, and then they show you how a 3-pin plug circuitry is connected to this household circuitry. And from there, they start asking the questions, all right? I know during the chapter, these are all directly taught to you, but still, unfortunately, a lot of students seem to have the inability to actually address it. Once we change the drawing, you get thrown off. People, please pay attention. It's just a drawing. The theory still stays the same. Because remember, one of the best ways that they throw you off, they draw the same circuit in a way that makes it look different. So it becomes something that throws you off, but actually it's still the same thing. So you need to actually realize that if you can actually work with it, it will help you very much get your answers back on track. Right, so come, let's deal with the first question that so many students will hesitate before they actually venture and answer. The question would be that, how does the fuse on the live wire of a 3-pin plug act as a safety feature to provide protection against overcurrent situations? I've heard many different ways of saying this, but the more common thing seems to be referring to it as a current surge. Current surge over current, same meaning. All right, so how does a fuse on the live wire of a 3-pin plug, how does it protect? Very simple. If you have a current surge, the surge being so high that it actually overwhelms the fuse that's on the live wire, the fuse wire inside the fuse, the plug fuse, will actually now overheat and it will break. Now, once it breaks, it introduces an open circuit into the electrical circuitry of this appliance through the 3-pin plug, okay? So now this is an open circuit. What's the whole idea behind it? When you introduce an open circuit on the live wire at the plug, effectively what it does is that it introduces an open circuit. It stops current that carries electrical energy from even entering into the plug. So if it can't even enter into the plug, it cannot flow into the appliance. And what is it that users use? We use the appliance. We touch the appliance more than anything else. So this effectively prevents a live current from coming into contact with the appliance in the case of a current surge. All right? And that is very best way will protect the user against potential electrocution or getting zapped by electricity. A slightly not so immediate case would be that it actually prevents this live wire from live current from staying on the appliance and potentially causing electrical fire. So these are the two ways that having a fuse on the live wire of your 3-pin plug actually will protect you in the case of a current surge. Okay, I hope you find that useful. Please click the like if you do, and I hope you join me at my channel as we deal with more questions.